John asked me a few weeks ago if I would do the invitation, and on this night, I said, yeah, I would, as long as I don't get called out of town. If I do, then I'll call you, and that'll be the invitation, is being prepared. So I asked him to be prepared just in case. Thinking about invitation, what's the best invitation that you ever got? Think about as you've lived your life and what you've done, and maybe it's where you work. If you work for a big company, maybe if you're a golfer, maybe the president or the owner might invite you to play golf. Just think about an invitation and what is offered and what the potential is with that. I don't know if you watch, if you're a golfer or a golf fan or just in general, but this last week was the U.S. Open, and the gentleman that won was Gary Woodland. On Saturday, they showed a clip from an earlier tournament, the Waste Management Open, and Gary Woodland had a fan. Her name was Amy Brockstedel, and she has Down syndrome, but she's a golfer, and on a short par 3 hole, she was at the tee, and she got to meet Gary, who's her favorite golfer. Well, Gary gave her an invitation, and that was to play golf, to play that hole. So Amy, this young lady, tees off, hits the ball in a sand trap. And so Gary figured she would just quit. She goes, you want it? No. She says, I got this. So she hits out of the sand trap and got a 10, 12-foot putt. And he says, you done? No, I got this. And so she sank the putt. She made a par, which is saying a lot, and doing it in front of the crowd that she was doing it in front of. All of our golfers here, probably if we had that opportunity, we wouldn't do that. We would shank it or do something else. So when you think about an invitation, even politically, no matter which way you swing, if the President of the United States invited you personally to attend an event, whether it's inauguration, whether it's a dinner at the White House, no matter which way that you believe, chances are you would be pretty excited about that and you would tell everybody about it. But you know, we all have an invitation, and we have an invitation from Jesus Christ, the Son of God. He invites every one of us. In Matthew the 11th chapter, in Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30, Jesus says, come unto me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and low in heart, and you will find rest for your soul. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So this is the best invitation of all that we could receive. All the other things I talked about earlier are just earthly things that won't, in the end, mean a lot to what happens in our life. But the invitation that Jesus Christ gives is important. And that invitation is for all. It's not any discrimination in any way at all. Doesn't matter your class. Think about the world we live in today and how many people should accept that invitation. The world we live in and the sin, the way our world is. If people would just listen to that invitation and accept it, how different it would be. So tonight you have an invitation from Jesus Christ himself. And he says to you, to all, come unto me, all ye that labor. So if you are heavy laden, if you have burdens of any kind, no one can help more than Christ in the church. So whatever your need might be tonight, if you have a need, please come forward as we sing the song.